So good afternoon, everybody. My name is Parag Kulkarni and I'm representing Mitsubishi. So I know this is a tough task to start the first presentation after lunch. And everybody had Balaji's roti. So please be awake for 15 minutes, my request to you. So this is what we look at when we talk about Industry 4 or we look at, let's say, digitization. And these are the elements that surround us. And the objectives are like digitization and integration of vertical and horizontal value chains. This is what we saw in the panel discussion also was talking about this very clearly. Then we talk about digitization of the product and services offerings. So this is where now you see many products are coming as like software as service. So this is where the market or this is where the industry trend is shifting to. And the third is like digital business and modeling it on and customer access. So the moment you have data, you also have a lot of insight about whom to approach and where to approach. So this is what we drive with the Industry 4 initiatives and how we look at the purpose of IoT. So we think about IoT, we talk about IoT, but we don't have clear objectives when we start any IoT project. Most of the IoT projects, some of them are thoughtfully designed and a lot of time goes into the planning stage. But some do not take enough time for the planning stage and they do not have clearly defined goals or objectives. So what should be the objectives from manufacturing sector? Specifically, if I talk about automotive, then we have things like traceability, we have data collection, we have plant data monitoring, we have facility monitoring or facility upgradation can also be seen. Then energy saving or energy monitoring. Then you have paperless office. For example, you digitize all the forms that go from manufacturing to QA and QA to the management. Then you talk about production control. So you have schedules. For example, you have PPC kind of a concept, like you have a scheduler which gives you machine-wise production schedule for a day, and the operator has to just execute it. Then we talk about also very important aspect is like preventive and predictive maintenance. Then we talk about facility maintenance, remote monitoring. So for example, anything goes wrong with the machine operation, are we able to track it back? What was the thing that goes wrong? At which instance? With timestamp. So this is something you can always have an objective from the IoT. Of course, last not but the least, like manpower saving is also an important aspect that IoT can bring in. And quality prediction, my friend from Hexagon has already given a wonderful speech about quality. Now, when we talk about these objectives and we move forward, so how we look at IoT or how Mitsubishi looks at this buzzword. So during the first panel discussion, I remember that I guess Mr. Nimkar was saying about de-skilling things. So this is exactly what we are trying to do for the industry. So if you look at the levels, level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. So here we try to give you a model which is like taking you automatically on the next steps of IoT implementation. So what we try to do is we collect, we visualize, we analyze, and we optimize. These are the simple 4 steps that we try to follow in any of the IoT project that comes to us. Now, when I say the levels, so the levels can be for facilities and workers. The second can be for the entire line. The third level can be for the entire plant. And the level 4 can be for entire supply chain or value chain. So this is how the skill matrix, and accordingly then we have decided the grades, how one should approach a project with clear objectives. this slide will give you more clarity. So for example, in data collection, you can imagine data being collected from equipments or plant level equipments. And you can imagine examples of database management or file management like CSV, or we transfer data using FTP, or we directly dump the data from controller systems like PLC systems into a database. So this can be seen as level A. Level B is like visualizing. So we try to bring in a clarity of whatever data that we have created. So while doing the visualization, it is also important that everybody has a KPI. Who doesn't know KPI? Hands please. Hands up please. Everybody understands KPIs? So in visualization, we should also have KPIs, right? Whatever we do should be significant. It should not be done for the sake of doing it. Every dashboard or every visualization should have some meaning. Unless it has a meaning, it has no use. So we try to use a mechanism called as KPI works. The software component name itself is KPI works. And it works like a Power BI tool within your visualization platform. It's very easy to configure. You can select the check boxes by yourself. It doesn't need any knowledge or any skilled programming level to make dashboards. That's the advantage we bring in. The third level is like analyzing. So of course, whatever data we have collected, so we would like to have it analyzed. And for analysis, again, we try to de-skill it by using a software called MyLab. So MyLab is a tool, which is an AI-based tool, and it provides you a set of algorithms which are given to you as a standard package. So we are trying to eliminate need of skilled data scientists by offering this software. Again, we are trying to de-skilling it for the industry. And last but not least, like is the optimization level. So whatever is the analysis, so PDCA cycle, or people talk about connected factories. So we try to take feedback from the analysis and we try to implement it. So this is how the program from us goes like. And there's a useful term called SMKL. So it says Smart Manufacturing Kaizen Level. So some of the words are in Japanese on this slide, so please bear with us. Also, we have the English translation on this. So if you see the level and how it goes up, so we have a clear matrix of all these 4 objectives vis-a-vis the area of implementation. So this slide shows you how's our product portfolio looking like. So at every level, we have some products to offer to the industry. So if you see at level 1, then we have our data collection devices, edge devices, which are used widely in the industry. You go to practically any automotive setup in India, you will find them. You go to Mahindra's, you go to Bajaj, you go to Tata's, you go to Renault Nissan, you go to Stellantis, you have them. Then at the B level, visualization, we have multiple choices. Like for example, may it be energy monitoring or may it be data visualization. So we can do in multiple ways. We have hardware as well as software platforms that can take care of this aspect. So we have a powerful software called Genesis, which is a modular software. And this is from a company called Iconix, which we have taken over in 2018 from US. So we are with this platform since 2018 onwards. And we have number of installations of this software within India. For the analysis, so as I mentioned, we have a powerful software called MyLab. If you just Google MAILAB on any of your devices, you will get to know about this software. It's a very powerful tool and yet very easy to use. So we are trying to de-skill the analytics with help of this software tool for the industry. And last, we have the, sorry for this. At the last optimization stage, so we have a range of our analysis devices, including male IPC. So we have powerful range of, you can say, edge devices, which can be used to run all those algorithms and take the necessary control feedback. What is important is like not all the IPCs or the PCs in the network or in the industry, they support the control network. For example, have you seen an IPC with Ethernet IP as a direct port available? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. If you have an IPC like which has a Profinet or Ethernet port directly, which is supporting to the PLC as a plug and play thing. So this is something which we are trying to solve with this product line. So some deployment steps as examples for you. So 1A to 1D, so mainly to collect data. These are like self-explanatory kind of slides, which I will just scroll through. Now, having said about IoT objectives, and how the data flow goes with IoT, we follow this architecture called ISA95, which is important for the data communication. And this is exactly the model which most of the industry follows, so do we follow on our software products. When I said objectives, we showed you objectives also. So when we say objectives, and we should also know where we are today. So some of the companies are like in a mature stage of IoT implementation. Some of them are beginners. Some of them are like somewhere in middle, like here or there. But then we should know like what are the clear objectives. So maybe you also link it with the level of the maturity. For example, computerization as first level, connectivity, visibility, transparency, and then maybe adaptability. So all these aspects will bring the necessary framework and necessary flexibility that is required for a good IoT system. So our program name for this is E-Factory. So like the Germans say Industry 4, and this concept was announced first in Germany around 2011. Our concept E-Factory was announced way back in 2003. Okay, and then it was implemented at 2 of our factories before 2009. So how we look at the E-Factory model? So if you see this pyramid on the slide, so the green portion in this particular slide, this represents our production floor. So here is where your machines, your equipments, your controllers are sitting. So your robot controllers, your PLC controllers, or your CNC controllers are sitting in this layer. The middle layer, which you see in brown, is depicting the edge or analysis layer. And the last layer, which is your top layer in blue color, is depicting your system or enterprise layer. So what we are trying to do here is we are trying to seamlessly offer you a connection between the production shop floor to the enterprise layer. This is something which we always try to offer to our customers. These are the sectors that we are present. So we are very strong in automotive, and we are also focusing on building automation. Data centers is also a big market for us. Food and beverage, we are also on the manufacturing side. We are also active in the pharmaceutical and material tire industry. For example, we saw one customer from us, Bridgestone is already one of our strong customers. And with this, we are trying to add to the society as well. So I will just give you some examples. I will not go much deep into. However, when we say industry segments, so we also have software partners who can support you for the implementation. Not everything we can do alone as a company. We need working hands. And these working hands will have different skill sets. For example, if we have a partner with software as an expertise, we have partners who have system integration as an expertise. And we also have device partners who have device level protocol knowledge or who can help you for implementing our protocols on your devices. So for example, if you know Genetics as one of the company from India, local manufacturer of pneumatic devices, they are a device partner to us, as example. This is the high level, you can say, solution capability diagram. And on the bottom side, if you see, this is your shop floor, and you can have the information collected in two possible ways. One is to use hardware gateways. The second one is to use software gateways. And then you can also take care of multiple aspects like which are related to manufacturing, like PPC, for example, quality, then traceability, mistake proofing. You can also do equipment-wise data modeling. You can also do material management and workforce performance tracking. So these are the aspects that we can enable with help of the acquired data. We can also support you with the analytics with edge analytics. And here we have a comprehensive range of algorithms that we can use for the analytics purpose. We also support seamless integration with cloud devices made by Azure or AWS. And last but not least, we also try to establish a connect with your enterprise system like SAP, for example. So we have a seamless connectivity by which you can see what is my workflow in the production. For example, any sales order you can track easily with our system. So I mentioned about KPI works some time back. This is something as an example of KPI works for you. So you can use multiple formats of data. You can represent the data in multiple ways and very easily. They are like ready to use objects which need no time to program. So another way, like self-service dashboards is something which is a popular phrase we use in industry. So you can use self-service dashboards here. So IT and OT connectivity is what we have talked about so far. And you can see here, like production management system, some dashboards for you. So you can see production planning dashboard or activity configuration kind of dashboard. So we can program this to your test or the customer's need. So similarly, you can see here quality management system, for example, which is showing you the label inspection, pass or fail, or for example, we can also have analysis of the component based on the sticker, for example, date of manufacturing and expiry and so on. These are some maintenance management module system for you, like machine-wise analysis or machine-wise downtime analysis. If you click one of these rows here, it will give you the further details of what was the downtime reason and who acknowledged it from the production system. So this is another example to use it for inventory management. So if you want to have a real-time insight about at all stages, like what is your raw material planning, what is your in-process flow, and what is your FG goods stock. So you can have a realistic view of all the inventory that is going in. So moving forward, I will quickly try to show you one clip here. Can you play this video? Center, if you can touch in this image. Yeah. So this is an example of how we can make use of automation devices combined with smart sensors. So whenever you have a human obstruction, the robot will stop safely, and then it will take the leanest path to complete its next task. Now here we are not using a cobot. This is a standard industrial robot, which we are making to use it as a cobo, apparently. Yeah. Can you deselect? Yeah, thank you. So this is another new software from us, which is called as Gemini. So as you can see, this is a 3D simulator, and one can use this software with large variety of 3D elements available to you as a library. Just drag and drop or use it as a simple to use or configure kind of a tool. And this we use for simulation before you actually invest into any system. So this gives you all the insights about how your production setup will look like. Is the space enough? Are there any constraints to it? So this kind of predictions we can do with this software. These are the steps we follow for a typical e-factory solution delivery. So as I mentioned, planning is very important. We do detailed design and implementation, testing, and thereafter training and handover. This is the mechanism that we follow. Two examples of typical automotive. One is from automotive, like a solution implementation which we did. So these are like the deliverables for this particular project. And if you see, like this is the architecture that we use. So you can imagine 3 different locations of the same manufacturer from where we are trying to get plant level information at one site. So you can have a unified data visibility from any of these locations. This is the mechanism that we use. So we have a component called frameworks, which supports server-to-server communication. The second one, which we are trying to show you, is again from automotive industry. So here we are trying to show you 4 locations, mainly for energy assets monitoring. So at every location, you have more than 200 assets. In combined, we have more than 1,000 assets which we are trying to monitor. And we are populating this data at a central repository. Anybody can fetch the data based on his own login credentials. And last but not least, this is from pharmaceutical industry. So you have typically the equipments like L1 layer equipments like fluidized bed dryers, or you have RMGs. I don't know how many pharma people here, but maybe some can correlate, like tablet coaters or tablet press machines. These are the typical examples of machines that are available in L1 layer. And we try to capture this data across the manufacturing plant. Typically, they are called as formulation plants. And in one formulation, there can be more than 100 plus such equipments available. Thank you so much for your attention. So I have one question.
Yes, please.
And the one who will answer it will get a prize as per the format set. So I want to ask you just one simple question, very easy to answer. The one who will grab the mic first will have the prize. It's as simple as that.
Yes, I Kumar, please point out to the person who raises hand first.
Yeah. So what is our program name for the Industry 4? Spot on. Thank you, sir. Who is the right one?
Yeah, thank you. Sir, please stay back.
My name is Manoj Kumar Arora and I am from NDTV Dairy Services, New Delhi.
From where?
New Delhi. NDTV Dairy Services, National Dairy Development Board.
Okay, great. Congratulations, sir. And are you married, sir?
Yes, of course.
No, just ask because married men are good listeners. That's why.
Thank you, Mr. Kulkarni, for an insightful presentation. Please stay back with us for a while. I would like to invite on stage Mr. Sanjay Bhan, Director Pro MFG Media, to felicitate Mr. Kulkarni. Thank you, gentlemen.